Hello and welcome to another Dragonstorm Studios video. And today we're going to continue our series on drawing hands by drawing a side view in a fist. So I've begun with a circle which represents the wrist joint, and I find that's a really helpful way of drawing lots of different poses of the human body. I've got the forearm over to the left, I've got the hand itself over on the right here, and I'm starting with the thumb. The thumb kind of sticks out. It comes down at a fairly steep, about 45-degree angle, and then you've got the fingers that curl in the hand to make that fist sort of shape. Great for drawing all sorts of superheroes. A lot of the inner part of that pose of that fist really has to do with the fingers and how the folds in the skin are working with there. So I've left that alone, and I kind of realized that the thumb was not tucked in enough, so I've drawn that in there as well. You're going to notice in this video lots of adjustments, lots of going back and forth, going over areas again like I'm doing here with the fingers, trying to get the angles right. And it's important to note that I'm working off of my own hand, so certainly all sorts of differences will occur due to age, due to the elasticity of the skin, due to the shadows and the shading of the particular light I was using when I drew the picture. So a lot of it just has to do with looking for those light and dark areas and drawing appropriately. So the shading, the light and dark, as mentioned, it's super important, as you can see here, that I'm working on those areas at the moment, just kind of shading in. And I tend to make the light source above, so top right. So that's where the light's coming from, and that just allows me as right-handed to shade more easily. If you are a lefty, it might be easier to have the light coming from that left-hand side, and then that way you're not worrying about having the shading being where your palm is, and it just makes life a whole lot easier for you that way. I'm also being aware of where you have light areas. I'm not shading in those light areas. So you can see a diagonal band of light going across the hand from top left to bottom right there. And that just shows a tendon that happens to be standing out at that point in the drawing. I'm also a big fan of going over areas that I've done once before after shading is complete, and that just allows me to darken in some of those folds of the skin to make them stand out more, because shading often does weaken the graphite. It does hamper some of the effectiveness of those dark areas. So just some touch-ups can be very helpful. So a shorter video today, but hopefully that gives you some tips and tricks for drawing a hand side view. This will be the end of drawing hands for the moment. I'll probably come back to this series at some other time, but I realize that I could be here for weeks upon weeks doing this with different poses if I'm not too careful. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video, and have yourselves a fantastic day.